All right, let's get started. So we are going to use a piece of paper and either pencil and crayon or pencil and pen. Your paper just needs to be a piece of blank paper. White is best, but colors will work too. Copy paper, drawing paper, or the back of an old schoolwork is fine. So you can do your inspirational word for 2021. You could just do 2021, or you can do your initials or your name if your name is short. I'm going to do 2021 with you guys today, and this is as far as we'll get. And then next week we'll add color. So today we're just going to do the bubble letters and the lines, the straight diagonal lines in the background, and then the curved lines to make the numbers look a little more 3D. So I went ahead and got started on this one. You can see that the 2 is already a bubble letter over here. I made sure I left enough space between them so that I could bubble them out, but still quite big enough. Okay, so this is just a regular old 0, regular old 2, regular old 1. Now I'm going to go around it with just like a little whisper of a hug, making sure I do round corners, so no real corners and angles at all if you're doing bubble letters. If you were doing square letters, then you would add the angles when you trace around. So I'm just tracing around my numbers. If you're doing letters, you'll be tracing around your letters. And if you don't love something, you can come back and fix it just a little bit. Whoa, that one got big. That's a big old 1. It's okay, I can come back and fix that. So I'm going to trim that in just a little bit. So you may want to have an eraser handy if your pencil does not have an eraser on it, like mine doesn't. All right, and I think that I'm going to adjust this just a little bit too. All right, and then I would come back and erase the inside numbers. All right, so there I have it, my 2021 bubble letters, and that one is still a little bit wide. Maybe would want it to be a little more narrow, but that's okay. I'm just going to roll with it. No big deal. All right, now you are also going to need something to make a straight diagonal line with. I have a ruler handy, but you can just use the edge of a piece of paper to make a straight line. So I'll show you how to do it that way first, because you may not have rulers at home. You want your lines to be pretty close together, not too close together, but pretty close together, and you want to try to hold your angle. So whatever angle your ruler or straight line is at, you want to hold that as you pull it down. All right. So then I would just keep on going down with my lines. And I'm going to go back to using the ruler. You can use the edge of the piece of paper for your ruler. That works totally fine. But you see when I got to the number or letter, I stopped my line and then started again on the other side of the number or letter. And then I'm just going to keep on going down. I'm going to speed up a little bit, but you take your time. You maybe haven't used a ruler as much. So take your time, do your best work. Hold your ruler or your piece of paper nice and steady and still as you're making your straight lines. And if you accidentally draw inside of one of your numbers or letters, that's okay. You can just come back and erase it. But what we want to do is curved lines on the insides of our numbers or letters. Keep on going down. This project definitely is going to require some mindfulness of you, but that is a-okay, because that is good for us. All right, almost there. And I might be rushing a little too much, and some of my angles might be off. My lines may not be spaced apart perfectly. So no big deal. Perfection's overrated. But if you do have more time to take it a little bit slower than I am, then try to keep your lines at the same angle. So I'm just dragging my ruler or my piece of paper over, trying to keep my angle the same and try to keep my spacing the same. But again, no big deal. When the whole thing is all created, it won't matter. Okay, so there's my diagonal lines. And then now, I'm going to scoot back just a little bit because the light is glaring on there. Now I'm going to make my curved lines connecting those diagonal lines. So from one side to the other, I am just going to curve slightly. I mean, it's not a big curve. This one may be a little awkward because it's a little further apart. And so I may have to end up adjusting these. But the ones that are closer together are easier to get that nice, rounded, curved look. To make it look like those letters or numbers are popping off the page. And this 0 is a little bit narrow. And my 1 is a little bit wide. So that's something else to consider, why this one was so successful, because for the most part, the letters are about the same thickness, except for the E's a little narrow. If it had been a little bit more of the same width, it probably would have been a little more successful there too. So that's something else to consider as we learn and grow together how to make this 3D optical illusion, because that's really what we're doing. We're creating an optical illusion, tricking the eye to make it look like this is 3D. So as we learn and grow together, I will learn some new tricks and you will learn some new tricks. So I'm just going to finish these curved lines, and then that is all we're going to accomplish this week. Next week, we will add color and value to make these numbers really look 3D. All right, and so again, these two lines here are a little bit awkward. I would probably come back and make those have a little bit more of a curve to them. So maybe like that, but I want it to look like it's lining up with that diagonal line on the other side. So that might still need a little bit of work, but good enough for now. It should look kind of like that at this point, or kind of like this one at this point, or whatever word or numbers or letters you have chosen to use for your 3D optical illusion. And the next week we'll add some color and value to really make these pop and really play that illusion, which is a trick on the eyes. Optical means eyes. All right, guys, I love you and miss you, and we'll continue this project next week.